What's up guys, it's Oblivious Gamer here, and well, today I just wanted to give my thoughts on Loop8 Summer of Gods. Well, my impressions after playing it for quite some time. This game just came out, and it was released for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and of course PC, which is through Steam. So I was a bit curious about the game when I first saw its announcement, and I've been following it up, and after playing it, I don't know, it's very mixed for me. I feel the game has some interesting things going on, but there's so much that just falls flat to it, making it hard to recommend it for a purchase. Maybe as a sale if you're interested, but it's just, even with it being $49.99, I think it's gonna be a hard game for everyone to enjoy or like, especially at that price, and with so many games that are good that are coming out in June and July, maybe your money would be better spent in other games. So what is this game? To start, it's a JRPG and it has a lot of visual novel elements. Give you a brief summary of the game. After the Kegai forced humanity to the brink of extinction, the survivors fled to the stars. Raised on a failed space station known as the Hope, a high school student, Nini, returns to Earth to spend his summer in the rural Japanese town of Ashihara, one of humanity's last remaining sanctuaries. Though Ashihara remains relatively untouched, the Kegai are still a threatening presence, and it is only a matter of time before they break through the divine barrier protecting the town. Gifted with a demon's sight, an ability that allows him to see into the underworld where the Kegai lurk, Nini might be humanity's last best chance of survival. He can't do it alone, and he'll need to befriend his classmates if he has any hope of fending off this ancient threat. So from what we know, the Kegai are just these demons that randomly appear. They drove humanity to the edge. Some managed to escape to space to feel safe. However, that didn't last, forcing, those that ran to space back into Earth. At least from the start of the game, you really don't know much about Nini, why or how he was raised. This is something that you might learn through dialogue and talking and getting to know the other characters as he reveals more information about himself. Though as stated, Nini has a special ability that not even others possess, and he is one of the few people to be able to fight the Kegai. Now the game has a plot that I feel, you always have the aspect and trope of the one that's supposed to defy, gods, or the chosen one. There already, you have that trope, and it's okay. It's nothing interesting. The game where it tries to shine is through two aspects: the loop aspect and the amount of interactions you will have to do with other characters. In this game, you will be interacting heavily with a lot of the characters, trying to raise their stats. The way that you do that, though, is you have to talk to them, and there's choices in your dialogue.
Yeah.
Nini does give you hints in the choices of what could most likely work, though there are times where it's not 100% for sure.
Sorry, no can do.
So one dialogue says, "I'm pretty sure this is gonna work." It might not necessarily work, and it could fail. And with these dialogues, you're able to raise your friendship and relationship with them. There's this chart, and you're able to see your affinity, friendship, and hate that each character possesses towards you. Rising these relationships, obviously these character bonds will help you in fights, so this is something that you're definitely interested in. And not just that, but raising your bonds with these characters will eventually unlock dialogue where a being called Musasa will appear, and they will bestow blessings, and those blessings usually are stat boosts.
You or that's all for now.
And that's very important, because that's one of the biggest ways to increase your character's strength, is by getting those blessings. Because here's where the other aspect of the game that we'll talk about, which is the loop. So you have a specific amount of time and to before the end of the world happens. When the end of the world happens, you're not going to be able to defeat the enemy, or something's going to happen and you will have to reset. When you reset, that's when the loop happens. All your affinities, friendship, and all that kind of stats are reset. So you start from 0 from day 1 again. Now, the only thing that doesn't reset are blessings, which is why, trying to get the blessings are very important, because those are stats that will not reset in the loop. However, it is stated that you will be able to regain your status, friendship, and character bonds quickly, even in the loop. So you're going to be repeating a specific segment a lot of times. Now, you can wait until the end of the world comes for the loop to reset itself, or you can actually talk to a specific character named Terasu and she can force the loop to happen to start. There is combat in this game, but a lot of times you're really much just going around in different places of the town, and it's gonna be a lot of talking to different characters.
Take this!
I won't lose.
Take this! Ah!
Please prepare yourself.
Trying to raise their stats just by interacting and talking, raising your own character stats, because there is a time limit to each day. So the day starts at 6 in the morning and you can be up doing stuff until 3 in the morning. But there's certain stuff that will close. For example, places will shut down at specific times, so you cannot go there. Interacting with certain characters will be limited at specific times. Sometimes also you cannot interact. Well, you can, but interacting multiple, like if you want to raise a specific character stats, you can try talking with them multiple times, but a lot of times it's just going to hinder your chances of trying to raise your stats. Like talking over and over and over to them could potentially hinder it. And sometimes even when you don't want to talk, like all of your choices are bad, you conveniently saying that's not going to work. If you said never mind, there's still a chance that you might lose some of your relationship that you have built. So this is a game that like has an interesting thing going to it, but I don't know if it's going to be for everyone. There's just so much micromanaging that you have to do, from your bonds to making your character stronger, because there's certain stuff that you can do to raise strength, intelligence, holy power, agility, so everything of that. And then you get to the combat, and the story in itself is not something unique, so it makes it really hard to see people are gonna be enjoying a lot of this game. I do feel the visual has a lot going for it, especially some of the background style and the landscape that we can see, though you also have some of the character movement that just looks a bit weird in the way that it's animated. At this point, it's on purpose. It's not like they're having a problem with the frame rate, but certain moments it just looks very weird how your character's just running around or just standing by. Combat is, I feel, very straightforward. There's really not that much uniqueness. It's a typical turn-based RPG combat. Of course, as I mentioned, depending on your character bonds, that's gonna affect some of the stats and some of the buffs or debuffs that you might get with people that you go in to fight the Kigai. So personally, it's a tough one to buy immediately. I would say if you're interested in something like this, maybe wait for a sale. There's some interesting stuff, but I feel the game just didn't quite hit the nail and it loses itself too much in all the micromanaging aspects that you have to do and how much you are gonna do that. And there's gonna be a point where it loses the fun and it just becomes something tedious, and you're just gonna like, okay, let me try to raise the stats here, let me try to raise the character bonds here, let me try to do this and that. But at the same time, I really wasn't expecting this to be like an insane success. So it's okay. It has its faults, it has some strengths, but I would say wait for a sale. But it's not always about me. What are your thoughts, guys? Have you tried Loop8 Summer of Gods? Feel free to leave your thoughts down below. This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.